everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room stamping with you this evening, and I'm going to show you how to make this. Oh, my hands are awfully dry. Let's not do that. This beautiful ornament, you can use it as an ornament, or you can put to and from and use it as a gift tag for your Christmas parcels. So this is in the catalog, in the holiday catalog on page 10. So here's the recipe for it. Sparkle glimmer paper, gold glimmer paper, night before Christmas designer paper, 2 1/4 inch circle punch, and the stitched stars dies. Okay, when our oldest grandson was little, we used to go for night walks, and he used to call them dars in the guy. It was so cute. So now that he's older, we still go for night walks and look at dars in the guy. Okay, so we need, this is the stitched stars dies, and you can get it in a bundle with the So Many Stars stamp set. I'm going to show you a really cool thing. So these the new envelopes can be a bit of a pain when you put your dies in there, and because it has to slide into this little slot that's here, and if you have the dies there, then you can catch it on the dies. So one of my demonstrator friends cut it off, but I didn't want to cut it off because I still keep them in this, and when it comes time to sell them when they're retired, I want the person that buys it to have the full envelope. So I just take and fold the flap inside, and then when I put the dies in, they just slide right in there, and I don't have to. Isn't that the coolest thing? It's one of those aha moments. I don't get a lot of them, but every once in a while I get an aha moment. Okay, so we need the die to cut that out. So that's that one. And then we need the die to cut that out. And that's that one. And then we need the die to cut the center out. And I believe it's that one. Yeah, that one's too big. So it's this one. And then we need the dies to cut these little curly-cuey things, and there's 5 of them. So it only takes one running through with the die cutting machine. Okay, so I'll put this over to the side, get my magnetic platform out. We'll put things on here. So the big one goes on the designer paper. So I'm just going to stick that on there like that. Like that. The next size we're cutting out of the gold. And I'm not worried about these that are hanging over because we're only using, it cuts it out right there. So there's all that amount that you can hang over your cardstock and not worry about making sure everything gets done. So let's just play with that till we get it right. And then we need to put these guys on here because we have to cut them out too. And they can just go in spots around like that. And then, oh, then we need, whoops, I forgot about that other star that I have to cut out. We're just going to stick these in here like this. Put the star on. And then put the last 2 on there. We'll get them. We'll get everything cut. There's lots of room on the paper. There we are. And then we're going to run this through. Now this one I'm going to cut with the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. Now I'll just put my top on top, and I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine. Go slow and go back and forth on the gold glimmer paper a couple of times just to get everything cut out properly. Slower you go, the better. All right, let's see if that's how that is. So there's that. Now you can use this piece too for another card. We'll put that on there and then get this off. Oh, just took my string. Okay. So let's see how good we cut this out. Gather all my dies and get them on the magnetic platform so I don't lose them. There's that one. There's that one. These you might have to play with a bit because they're a bit on the fussy side for the glitter paper, or we'll have to put them back in and do them upside down because I didn't do them upside down, so I'm just cutting away the excess so I can pop them into the back into the dies. You can't rip this paper because it's got plastic on the back of it, and that's why it's a bit of a little bit difficult to cut the dies out because of that plastic. So you can definitely remove the plastic before you do this. Let's see if I can show you how that. So you just have to kind of and then pull. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them back on the dies and run them through again, right down along the edge. Oh, I've cut them so that I know where to. Okay, let's turn this over because I got a bit of a bow there and I want this to have good adhesion to my plate. So I cut them at the bottom so that I can see where to put them in. Because you want to get them seated properly in the die. Ooh! That one let go. I hope this works. I don't want to have to show you. I put it the wrong way. I don't want to have to do this whole thing and then end up having to start all over from scratch because I've messed something up. So let's keep your fingers crossed. This does work. It just takes a little bit to persuade them to work. Oops, did you see that paper fly off there? Because that die doesn't want to stay down where I told it to go. So we'll just have to play with it where it wants to go. Okay, let's run them through again, going slow. Yeah, I should have had them upside down to start with because they cut so much better when they're upside down. But you know, I get busy talking and I don't listen to myself. See, they're a lot. Cut is a lot better. Okay. There we are. See how easy they come out now when you do them properly? Pokey tool. One. Two. Oh, that one didn't cut. It moved, so we're going to have to destroy that one, and I'm going to have to cut one more. Dig out my gold out of the garbage can. Hopefully we won't have that issue with any of the other ones. See, that one popped right out. Come on. Out. Thank you. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dies there. And I'm then just going to whip this through my Big Shot and cut another one of these. Upside down. Learn to do what you tell people to do. Sometimes it's do as I say, not as I do, and sometimes I remember to do what I say I should do. Okay, so that one cut out a lot better. Now, dies are over there. They're safe. They're out of the way. Okay, now just have to poke out these little bits. These little bits in here. Poke them out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's that plastic liner I was telling you about. Do you see it there? It's definitely has issues cutting that plastic liner sometimes. All right. We're getting there. I know it's a bit fiddly and I apologize. I should have had these cut, but then you wouldn't be able to see it in real life. You won't get to see how frustrated I can get sometimes. We just had an air ambulance go over top of my house, which is never a good sign. Usually it means that there's been an accident out on the highway somewhere and they've had to transport people in. Well, I'm just praying that that's not what it is. That's never a good thing. Okay, get rid of the little pieces. Alright, so now we need to punch this with the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. There we are. So that's done. And then we have to just move these out of, oh, where's my, oh, there's my star. Whew! Thought I had lost the star. Now, to do this, to make it do this, you have to fold those little pieces. So I get my foam mat out. Oh. There's the foam mat. There's the star. And a stylus. Where's my bigger one? There it is. I want to use a big one because the bigger it is, the less chance there is of you, oops, trying to get my ruler. The less chance there is of you cutting through the designer paper. Okay, so I'm using the bigger end and I'm just going to score, lightly score. You don't want to go too hard because you don't want to rip that designer paper. Just lightly score down the middle of each of the points. And what this does is it allows you to fold them and kind of gets them straight. And I guess this step is really not crucial, so if you missed that step or didn't want to do it, it's not a big deal. So now I'm just going to fold on those score lines. And just pinch the points together. You just have to go really slow to get it started, so you get it started in the right spot, and then just pinch them. And I'm pushing up from underneath as well, just to get them started. And See how it's working? Works really well. There, now I've got it done. Now, if you notice on this one, it's up in the center. So what I did was I double dimensional the center, and I'm using the big dimensionals for this. So I'll put one down, and then I put another one right on top of it. Just like that, so you have double dimensionals. And then we're going to put a piece of dimensional on each point. Just so you can keep them from flattening out. Because you want to have a little bit of height in the center star. So see what I'm doing? It's running there like that. So now, these don't stick very well to this glimmer paper. So I have a way around that. Take off all of your liners. There we are. So that's all exposed now. Now get your Tombow and put Tombow on each of those dimensionals. So this just allows the dimensionals to stick really well to this. So that goes on next. And you just kind of center it, sort of. Oops, moved it a bit. There. And then you just got to hold it down until it grabs a bit. Or put something on top of it till it grabs. There. Oh, apparently I cut the wrong size star out. Look at that, my star's big. Oh well, we're going to have a big star. So this little star is going to go in the center here. Okay, so that means we need another dimensional on that. So I need a piece of dimensional to put in there. Like that. And then you need to put the Tombow on that again. Because you don't want your thing to fall apart. The worst thing ever is when your projects fall apart. So I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. Now let's see how this is doing. Good. Okay. Now, we have 5 of these. We have to put Tombow on them. And we can't let them dry this time because you want the Tombow to go into the glimmer paper. And you have to be careful where you put the Tombow because if you notice, let's move this over here, the points are not on the ornament, they stick out past the ornament. So you don't want to put Tombow on the end there. And one more. There we are. Now we get this. And these just fit right in there, like that. You have to be really careful because they're going on glimmer paper. I'm just using my scissors as tweezers because I always have them on my table, and I don't always have my tweezers on the table. Come on, just fit down in there where you're supposed to be. Thank you. Ah, oops. Come on, you can stay there. All right, one more. These are a little finicky to do, but they're so pretty. Now I have glue all over my fingers, and it wants to pull them up when I pull my fingers away. I'm just going to do some fine tuning here, because I want them to be in line with the edge of the star, but I want them all to be seen. Let's move this one in a bit. And because I used the liquid Tombow, I have time to play with it a little bit before it completely dries. There, okay. Now, this one is going to go on here. And apparently it's going to look all right. So you have the two. See the boo-boo I made with the wrong size star? Yeah, I'll make sure when we have our class that it's the right size. And I just put Tombow on that so I can put it on and move it around if I want. There we go. Now we just have to let it dry for a bit. I should have put the hole in the end before I put all this stuff on. But you just take your foam mat and a pokey tool and just poke a hole right there. And then you thread some white baker's twine through the hole. I'm trying to do this gently because I don't want to dislodge anything because it hasn't dried yet. And just tie a knot in the end. There we are. There's the blue one, and there's the red one. Now you are going to have, those of you that come in person are going to have a choice of which color you want to do. There's also a green, so you can do green too. And if you're looking for the host code for the October monthly stamping club, that's the host code right there. Okay. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you could stamp with me in my craft room today. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.